Evening Borough fans, welcome to BoroFanTV. I'm the third half with me, James Hutchinson. On tonight's show, I'm joined by Jason Hamilton, goalkeeping coach at Stockton Town, who at the weekend reached the semi-final of the FA Vase after a 2-0 victory over Windsor. This means they're now in a two-legged semi-final against Mask United for a place at Wembley in May. Welcome to the show, Jason, and congratulations on Saturday's win.
Brilliant, mate. Thank you very much.
No worries. Tonight we're going to have a look at the non-league scene in general, as well as our usual chat about the Borough and Saturday's derby with the Mackhams, and a look ahead to Friday night's tussle with Leeds United. This is your show, so get in touch with us. Any questions or opinions are always welcome, so anything you want to fire into myself and Jason will be more than welcome. As I said at the top of the programme, we've got Jason with us here tonight, who's a goalkeeping coach at Stockton Town. Jason, can you tell us anything about your own footballing career and how you got into the role of a goalkeeping coach?
Yeah, sure, yeah. I was quite late, to be fair, coming on the Northern League scene. I signed for Billingham Town when I was around about 30. Yeah. So, yeah, quite old as a goalkeeper, but goalkeepers can go that little bit longer. Yeah. Had a couple of good seasons there with Billingham Town, really enjoyed that. Moved on to Darlington RA. Right. From Darlington RA, I had a little spell there, went back to Billingham Town and then over to Billingham Synthonia, where I finished my career and then became goalkeeping coach. Right. And really enjoyed it, enjoyed it. It was something different from just playing, but obviously still involved, you know, with the day-to-day, as it were. The banter and everything else with all the lads. Absolutely. Yeah. Fantastic. Jason, we have a lot of young fans that watch this programme. What would your advice to them be in terms of if they want to have a career in football? Well, I think it's a bit of a cliche, isn't it? Believe in yourself. Yeah. And don't take no for an answer. If you know, if you're good enough, you're good enough. Yeah, yeah. You know, believe in yourself and just go for your goals. Go for your goals without a doubt. Yeah. Without a doubt. Brilliant. So you're working at Stockton Town. It's a relatively young club and it's come a long way in such a short space of time, hasn't it? Do you want to tell us about the club? Yeah, well, I initially went there on request of a friend of mine, Paul Midgley. Yeah. Midge was doing the under-18s. Right. And he knew that I'd left Synthonia and he said, do you fancy coming? Give us a hand, I need an assistant, I need number 2. Yeah. Come and have a go. It's not men's football, but it's something different. Mm-hmm. Seeing how Stockton were progressing and obviously doing well in the Wayside League, and seeing the sort of the setup from outside, I thought, it's great. Well, I'll give it a go. Yeah, yeah. Then once you get within that bubble, wow, the structure and the setup of the club is phenomenal. Because I mean, that might surprise some people to think, well, it's a non-league club, yet they've got teams at various levels as well playing. How many sort of teams are we talking about at Stockton Town, Jason? Well, I think we you know, from under 6s up over. Right. They go right up to the under 16s in the TGFI, and then the under 18s. It's a 2-year thing with the under 18s from 16 up to 18. The club itself are looking to progress again next year, looking to do a reserve team. Right. So what league would they go in then? Well, we're talking about the Wayside League. Right. I think it's early stages, but the powers to be have spoke to the Wayside League. Right. The Wayside League know what Stockton are all about. Yeah, yeah. Because of the major success we had in there. Yeah. And we are looking to do something. Yeah. But definitely there will be a reserve team next year. Fantastic. Which is just going to be great. It's that next step for the under-18s. Yeah, yeah. And it also then provides you with lads who are ready then to come into the first team. Absolutely, as well. Absolutely. Because sometimes at 18 you need a little bit more. You need to go progressing. And jumping straight into Northern League, men's level, it's a harsh league, little bit hard. Isn't it? Yeah, and of course we're doing quite well in the first division. Yeah. Again, it's tough. Yeah. So yeah, just have a season or two in the Wayside League, learn all about your men's football, and then progress on again. That sounds really positive. I know people that go and watch Northern League games that maybe haven't done so in the past before, comment on the standard of the football and how good it is and how impressed they are with it. Yeah. Can you tell us about maybe some of the players in your squad, maybe what levels they've been at or where they come from, where you pick up your players? Yeah, sure, yeah. I mean, we've got a good old eclectic mix of some older school guys, and some young lads. I mean, the biggest thing for me is when I was working with the 18s, seeing them move up and progress.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a couple of lads in there. Liam Jordan, the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
He come from our 18s. You know, Joe Scaife-Wheatley, who's gone on to Thornaby. Joe Postel has gone on to Thornaby.
Yeah.
You know, Macaulay Langstaff. I mean, he's up at Gateshead. All come through the 18s.
Yeah.
You know, some really good young players.
Yeah.
We've got a good young kid at the moment. I'm not going to big him up too much.
Yeah.
But he's under contract, so that's that. Nobody can do anything about that. Kevin Hayes.
Yeah.
Absolutely been a revelation this season. He's had a little trial this year. Bradford had asked to take him down. So obviously we let him go down and have a look at that down there. He come back and he's gone up to Sunderland. They requested him up, so he's had a little jaunt up there. Luckily, none of them have fancied him yet. Not while we're doing well in the bars anyway. But yeah, good young player.
And that's great for you as a club as well, because then you can say to other people that are maybe looking further down the line, oh, well, which club should I go to? Because we competition to bringing players in, and you can say, well, look, we've had this lad here, he's spent some time with us, and he's progressed on to going to a higher up in the pyramid in either non-league or getting actually into the football league. Because I dare say there'll be some lads that are with you that have actually started off at football league clubs. And been released, and then looking for a way back into the pro game.
Absolutely. Like Kevin is that prime example, because he was at the BORO. And I think when I was with Midge at the 18s, we went and played their under 18s in a pre-season game. And Kev shone. I think we beat them 3-1.
Right.
And they scored 2. I think he done really well. And Ron Bourne come over to Bidge and went, oh, I wonder if I've made a bit of a mistake here, you know, and let him go. But there's that. I think sometimes they need the hunger back. You know, they can go away and be disheartened as you would expect. But it's obviously a club like ours and people like Paul Midgley knowing that sort of setup and how it works, getting the young kids back in, getting them hungry again, and it's the fruits are with us at the moment in the first team.
And that's it. You only have to look at people like Jamie Vardy and look at lads who have like been released from pro clubs, like he was at Sheffield Wednesday, didn't make it, went into the non-league game. And within like 4 or 5 years, there he is, Premier League winner, playing for England. It's all possible.
Fantastic, yeah.
So like we were saying at the top of the show, Jason, you've got to the semi-final of the FA Vase this year. Just pinch yourself still now.
Absolutely.
In terms of preparation for the Vase games, is it very different to like Northern League games? What sort of preparation do the coaching staff and the players go through before those games?
Well, I mean, for the past couple of rounds, we've had the teams watched.
Right.
Obviously, if it's a Northern League game, we'll know most about most of the best players, who's where and what. But to be fair, Middlesbrough come up trumps and they sent a scout down to Windsor, and they've done a dossier for us, and they've done the same for Mask.
Fantastic.
Which was absolutely fantastic, and it gave us an insight of formations, the players to look out for. We do try to get a bit of a dossier on them, get them watched somehow, somewhere along the line.
Brilliant. And like I say, it's been an amazing run that you've been. I mean, how many games in total have you played in the Vase this year? Has it been about?
Must be about 7, is it? Windsor, Stourport, the 2 local sides, Bootle, City, Liverpool, West Auckland, Concert, and Wickham. Started off for Wickham.
7 rounds to get to the semi-final. On the days when you play those games, does it feel very different? Like in the changing room and everything, does it feel like, is there a massive buzz around the dressing room?
There's a whole buzz around the club anyway. I think it's more the committee and you probably won't thank me for it, the chairman. And we try to deflect it from the players. I mean, you know, I've played a decent standard. Michael Dunwell's been at a pro club. Hartlepool, JD's been at a pro club. And we just try and keep it relaxed as possible. We don't change much. You know, we don't say, right, we've got to be here X amount of time earlier, or we're going to do an extra session or anything like that. We keep it all pretty straightforward, pretty simple. We have a little ritual, me and Midge, we have our pre-match full English. So that goes down well, you know.
I could get into that routine. I like the sound of that.
It's all good fun. It's all good.
Brilliant. And like I say, semi-final of the Vase now. But beyond the Vase run, what's like the plans for the future of the club, or what are the aims, or what things are you hoping to get to in the future with Stockton Town?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we've come so far from 15 blokes and a dog watching us on a little white picket fence behind the school to, like I say, 1,200 fans on Saturday.
Yeah.
The structure of the club is fantastic, James. You've been several times.
Yeah.
You've seen the facilities. You know what the club's all about. But just from the under sixes, you will right the way up. There's some fantastic coaches. I mean, if you look at our under 18s coaches, you know, we've got John Fielding, who's an ex-pro. You know, Ralph Pettigene, who's played for Spenny and been about. We've got coaches in there with pedigree. And the club's fantastic. It can be what the club want it to be. You know, and Martin Hillaby, a fantastic job. Such a great bloke, smashing chairman. He will take it as far as it'll go.
Because this is only your second season in the Northern League.
Absolutely,
I find it hard to believe your second season in the Northern League. Your first season, last season, you went up. Were you champions of the second division?
Yep, we won it.
Champions of the second division. This year, your first ever season in the first division. You had a bit of a difficult start of the season. I think you had a lot of injuries in the squad, didn't you?
Yeah, we lost our first 9.
Right.
And we did question ourselves, to be fair. But I mean, we spoke off air. We knew it was going to be tough. The first division is tough, and with the injuries that we had, we just needed that one game, that one kick start. And it happened to be Sunderland RCA on a cold Tuesday night.
Right.
It was pouring down, and we went on and we battered them 4-1, I think. Right. And we went from there.
From there.
And it's amazing how it just takes one spark, one game.
Because if people maybe don't know out there, what sort of teams are in your league? What clubs are in the first division?
There's some big spending clubs. Obviously, Masker in there with a chance to win the league. Morpeth is sitting top at the moment. Shildon, Concert, Newcastle Benfield, you know, your Ashingtons, Bishop Auckland, West Auckland. There's some big old clubs with
a
pedigree.
lot of resources as well.
Absolutely, that's the other side as well.
So, I mean, in terms of like crowds, you're getting what you're getting round about this season, Jason. In terms of crowds,
we're getting over 100 a game.
That's good,
which is absolutely fantastic.
I
mean, we're getting a lot of away fans, which is good because obviously a lot of them have never been to Stockton Town before. Want to see what it's all about. But the feedback we get from them is great. Love the hospitality, everything like that. It's great, and we are the attendances are climbing, which is fab.
And like I say, I know I've been to a few of the Vase games as well when you had the 2 Liverpool clubs, and they brought massive followings.
Yeah, they were good days.
And again, like you say, the atmosphere there at West Auckland, a big crowd in at that game. And like you say, over 1,200 on Saturday. Now, obviously, the draw's been made today, and like Jason said there. Unfortunately, in a way for both clubs, it would have been lovely to have seen 2 Teesside teams in the final at Wembley. Stockton Town have drawn out Mask United. Now the 2 legs, first leg's at Mask on the 17th of March, when the Borough at Brentford. Then the following week, second leg at Bishop Road. That's an international break, so no excuse, everybody, get yourselves down there, because it should be a great day, that shouldn't it?
Absolutely. That, like you said, I mean, I think the draw Teesside wanted was to meet on the 20th of May. That would have been fantastic. But you know, we've got them in a massive semi-final. At least it means one Teesside club will go to Wembley, which I think we were talking off air as well. Historically, it doesn't normally happen, does it?
I think we had Gisborne in 1980. I know Billingham Town got close about 10 years ago, but this is like phenomenal to have 2 teams in the semi-final. Absolutely.
And in the semi-final, it'll be a great spectacle, without a doubt.
Brilliant. So, like I say, that game's coming up in a couple of weeks' time. The first leg at Mask, second leg at Stockton. So, Jason, obviously, beyond that as well, you've also got in the quarter-final of the Northern League Cup as well, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a trophy I've won.
Right.
For Billingham Town. I had the privilege to play in that, which was great. We beat Shildon. We go a tough one there. Could be away to Morpeth. I know they've still got to get over Wellington yet. But
that's a bit of a trek as well. That'll be a midweek.
Away to Morpeth on a Wednesday, fantastic, no doubt. So happy days there.
Oh, brilliant, great. So like I say, just a lot of positive things going on at the club at the minute, isn't it? And it must be just great to be part of it.
It is. It's there's a major feel good factor. And it's great. it's a journey for a lot of the people that have been there that don't know the non-league scene on getting used to it. It's brilliant. It's just superb, mate.
Like I say, I can see myself. I've been to a few Northern League games this season, and if you ever get the chance to go, give it a try because it's fantastic. It's value for money. Get to see lads full commitments, giving their all every week, and it's really entertaining stuff. So I would highly recommend going to a Northern League game. Now we'll go on to the Borough, Jace.
Right.
Now you've been a fan for many years.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Who have your heroes been down the years? Have they been goalkeepers or was it other positions? Who were your heroes as a fan?
Stevie Pears.
Oh, phenomenal.
Absolutely love Stevie Pears back then. So I'm starting to show my age now. But I think one of the best players for me, just for commitment. We've talked about commitment levels, and again, I'm going back a few years. Was Gary Hamill. Yeah. Absolutely. He'd run through a wall for you. Totally. If you told him to run through a brick wall, he'd say which one.
I think in that team, that 86 to 88 team, right through the team, that one thing you could say about them all was commitment.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they played for the club and they played for the badge, didn't they?
Absolutely,
And like I say, Gary was hard as nails, wasn't he? And he probably to his own cost, to be honest.
Absolutely, his career cut short, with that knee injury and that, and probably playing through the pain barrier, playing when he shouldn't have been playing.
Yeah, and Pearsy, like you say, I mean, at the time, we were a second division club, and he got called up to England, didn't he? That's how good he was. He was a great keeper, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
So obviously, Borough this season, bringing it back up to date, they changed the manager halfway through the season. Took Gary Monk out, brought Tony Pulis in. Now, as someone that's played and coached, how does that affect things in the changing room, both as a player or then as a coach, like looking at it both ways? When somebody comes in who's like got a totally different philosophy to the chap before, or if you come in as part of a coaching staff and your way of doing things is very different to the people that come before, how does that change things, or does it change things, Jace?
I think obviously you have your coaching methods. It will dramatically change if the new manager comes in and says, I want you to stop doing this and stop doing that and now start doing that. And it depends if you know you've got your own mind, your own thought. You might think, well, that's not really how that should be done. And you know, I didn't really want Monk to go, to be fair. I don't know. It's going to be out with Pulis at the moment. It's this one up top thing. I don't know. We're struggling for goals. We were talking off air about the amount of goals we're conceding that we should not be conceding. It will be a time will tell. Time will tell. We're 2 points off the playoffs. We're hanging on the shirt tails.
That's it.
I mean, you probably correct me if I'm wrong. It's a little bit similar to a lot of years ago actually. We got into the playoffs and we didn't feel we were quite good enough. I think it was Notts County. Jimmy Phillips scored.
That season is very, very similar to this one. I think we finished 7th that year.
Right.
Sneaked into the place. We actually went down to 7th that year. And we got in at Barnsley on the last day. We avoided a hiding, so we got into the playoffs. But it never sort of felt that season as though it ever clicked. And I think this season feels a little bit like this, doesn't it?
Totally, absolutely. But, I mean, if we can get into the playoffs with, 12 games to go? If we can get in there and if we can have a little bit of a momentum going into it, you know, you'd rather go in there on the back of 3-4 wins with the momentum than being in there a little bit stale, losing 3 of your last 5 or something like that. You know,
over the line.
Absolutely.
Like I know you're limited, obviously, what you can see with the Borough with your commitments with Stockton Town, but what have you made of them this season? Like under Gary Monk and Tony Pulis, what have you made of it, Jason?
It is mainly just reading reports and listening to people's views. It's probably just because we're not used to that quite negative kind of football with this stalemate of one up top and you know and I think was it the game we won 3-0 last home game.
The whole City game.
The whole where it was very, very negative. When we should have gone for the jugular and you end up with 7 defensive players on the pitch at the end and you think, wow.
Coming out the ground, I had a lot of people like complaining. We just won 3-1 and it's not something you'd normally associate with a home game, but like I say, I think people sort of thought Hull were a little bit limited and we didn't go and we ended up the game a little bit on the back foot and handing the initiative to them. Do you think that can happen when you make changes?
Massively, absolutely. And, you know, I think our results against the top 6 have been really, really poor. And you come across you start and do things like that against a top 6 side. You won't hang on to a 3-1 or a 2-1. You'll end up losing the game or getting a draw, whatever. And that's going to be the problem. That's been the problem. Just being able to have a formation, have a sort of a strategic plan. And beat the team. Beat the team comfortably as well, and come off and go. Yeah, we fully deserve that.
Now, I've got a few different views here from lads getting in touch with regards to the semi-final. I've got Mark Stonehouse, who's giving a big shout out to Mask United and the Mask Marauders. Then I've got Neil here saying big congratulations to Mask and Stockton. Shame that they can't both be at Wembley. But it's a big day on Teesside on the semi-final day. We're guaranteed at least one finalist in May at Wembley. But like I say, with the Borough, 4 points from 2 games, you would normally say that's not bad at all, getting 4 points from 2 games. But Saturday just felt like a massive opportunity missed. That draw at Sunderland, didn't it?
Definitely, without a doubt. And like I say, I've read the reports and I've seen the goals, and you look at some of the goals we're conceding there. It's just, it shouldn't be happening. Not at that level. And
I think what sort of like concerns me, I don't want to get a stick and start beating Tony Pulis with it, because these things were happening under Gary Monk. But it just seems as though from a team that was so solid defensively a couple of years ago, we're now letting in goals which are frightening, to be honest. And I think all 3 goals could have been avoided on Saturday. And that worries you when teams don't have to work hard to get goals against you, doesn't it? Because you'll know as a goalkeeping coach how important it is to get clean sheets.
Absolutely, I mean, in defensive units, they're over the moon with clean sheets. Yes, great. We've gone and scored 2. I mean, just flipping back to Stockton now, back 5 were brilliant on Saturday. And you clean sheets are us. That's got to be the case.
And it's not just the defence. In fairness, it comes out the whole team. You defend as a team as well, don't you? But like I say, it seems at the minute that something's not quite right when you're shipping in the goals that the Borough are. I mean, I know we were talking off air before the one with Rob, and he was saying there was 27 goals the team conceded in the promotion season 2 years ago. I think they've already conceded 34 this year, and you've got 12 games to go. So it just shows, and a lot of those players, I think over half that defence is still there now. And like I say, that's not pointing fingers because it's the whole team. But there's something just not quite right at the minute. Do you think it could be like a concentration thing, or is it the way they're set up, or what could it come down to a combination of things, Jason?
I think it could be a combination of things, without a doubt. And yes, we scored 3 on Saturday. And we got 3 against Hull, but we're not scoring a mass amount of goals. And maybe as the game's going on, the defence are getting a little bit jittery, thinking, hang on a minute, we're not doing up there. It's even.
The pressure's
that
on
we keep
us.
it on here, without a doubt.
And then it's like almost like another derby game this Friday night. We've got Leeds. They've got a new manager now, Paul Heckingbottom, and he's just starting to get them ticking over. I think they've had the last 3 games. Have had Bristol City, Derby, Brentford. So 3 teams that are decent teams, and they've come out of those 3 games undefeated with 5 points. You know it's going to be a tough one Friday night. It's always tough against Leeds anyway. But that's going to be a hard game that Friday night, isn't it?
Oh, it is, without a doubt. He's a good manager, Paul Heckingbottom. He was doing it nice and quietly with Barnsley and that, and he's got them fighting, hasn't he? He's got them working back as a team. And it will be tough, mate. It will be tough.
Because they're a club that have had a lot of turmoil in recent years,
absolutely.
Probably the last 10, 15 years. But they are a massive club. It's going to be a big game. They're going to bring full following here on Friday night. And they're only, I think they're 3 points behind the Borough now at the moment.
Absolutely, a little run.
They're not far away, so they'll still be thinking, we can make the playoffs as well. So it's not like you've got a team here who've got nothing to play for. It's going to be a big, big game Friday night. And
absolutely.
I mean, they've got the big lad Lasogo up front, haven't they? Adam Forshaw's in midfield, making things tick over him. Were you surprised he left in January, Jay?
I think something had to happen. We were overrun. We did have quite a lot of players similar to Adam there. Football is a squad game, of course it is. But you're only happy when you're playing.
That's it.
And if you're not,
for a game,
I want to play football, and if I'm not getting it here, I want it somewhere else. It's as simple as
that. So obviously, then we've got 12 games left before Friday. Realistically, where do you think the Borough can finish this season, Jason?
Well, I think this month is massive. It really is. Looking at the fixtures, I think there's obviously Leeds and Wolves, but obviously we've got Birmingham.
Yeah.
Barnsley. You would expect.
Yeah.
But this month for me is big.
Yeah.
But if we can just hang on to the shirt tails, you never know.
Yeah, because it seems at the minute that 6th place is up for grabs.
Yeah,
There's like teams that are like sort of pulling away a little bit, like Cardiff. I expected Cardiff to drop away. They haven't.
Yeah.
They keep crying out results, and Warnock's a past master at that, isn't he?
Yeah.
He knows this league and he can do that job. Villa should be up there, especially with the squad. They've got another good manager as well there, Steve Bruce. Fulham have hit a good run.
Yes, they have.
They looked impressive against Wolves on Saturday.
They're very much the form team for me, without a doubt.
And then you've got Derby, who maybe just seem to be wobbling a little bit, but they've had a good season as well with Rowett, another good manager. But that 6th place, it seems as though everybody at the minute is doing their best to hand it on to the next
just
team.
pass it on.
Bristol City lost at the weekend. Sheffield United lost at Hull. I couldn't believe that when, having watched Hull on Tuesday night at the Riverside, to then see them beat Sheffield United. And like I say, there's just a little pile of teams just queuing up there, but nobody at the minute just seems to want to take that last
Absolutely.
spot.
That's why you just need that little run.
Yeah.
Get on that little run. That's why I do believe this month is massive.
Yeah.
You know, if we can go through the month unbeaten, but pick three wins up at least, and I think we'll slip into it, and then it's up to us then to kick on and go again.
Yeah, because like you say, momentum's the big thing, isn't it? If you've got a bit of momentum going into the playoffs, you've got half a chance, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And I mean, there's one or two people that are saying, well, it's a year too early, we don't want to go up. But can the club think like that? If the opportunity's there, should they not try and take it, Jason?
Without a doubt. And you know, if you go up and you have to come back down again, it's the cash. You've got the cash, and it's never too soon to go up. Of course, it's not. No.
Yeah. And who's to say? I mean, they could go up, and Pulis, with the years he's done in the Premier League, I think in a way he'd be probably better suited to fight in a relegation battle.
Yeah.
The way that he sets his teams up and his experience there. As much as he is trying to get a team promoted out the Championship, I think he'd be probably more comfortable managing in the Premier League. Do you think that's a
I think that's why Steve's brought him in. You know, if and when we do go up, he's ready-made for that level. Yeah. He's been a Premier League manager for a good few years, and he knows it inside out. Yeah. So I think it was a ready-made appointment for if and when we do go there.
Steve Trodden's just sent us in a question there, just saying, lads, we won't get 6th this year, we're not good enough. I think there's a few people feeling a little bit out that way. But like we said, it's just 2 points, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, we'd have been 6th if we'd hung on. You know, goal difference is a little bit better than the ones up there, and we'd have been in there. We'd have been 6th now. Which is 2
still,
points, James.
It's not much
nothing
to make up, is it?
No.
I mean, you look at it, if you're still 2 points behind on the last day of the season, you've still got a chance then, haven't you?
Absolutely.
We're just going to hang in there whichever way we can.
Yeah, mate.
So, it's still all up for grabs, Boro fans. Obviously, Friday night's game against Leeds is a big one. So, I'm looking forward to that, and obviously we'll have a reaction about that during the week and then after the game. Jason, I've just got to say thanks very much for coming on the show tonight.
No problem, mate.
Really enjoyed having
Excellent.
you on here. And I'm hoping all the best. I know I've got to remain a little bit impartial, but it'd be great to see Boro and Stockton Town make it to Wembley.
Wouldn't it just?
It'd be fantastic. So remember, Boro fans out there, like, share, subscribe to us on Twitter, Facebook and YouTube for your chance to win 2 season tickets for next season. Could be in the Premier League watching the Boro. So don't forget to do that. That's a chance to win. Until next week, from myself and Jason, Red and White, you and me, Monday at 6, BoroFanTV.